In this video, we're going to have an introduction to some of the Azure services for big data and analytics. In this video, we're going to have a look at the first of three big data analytics, and this is called Synapse Analytics. Now, Synapse Analytics is formerly known as SQL Data Warehouse. So what is a data warehouse? Well, a data warehouse is a processed database. Now, what happens with normal databases like SQL database? We have lots of data coming in. These are transactional databases. So you can have lots of data coming in, and the emphasis is on writing the data. Here for Synapse Analytics, the emphasis is on reading the data. So what you do is you take the entirety of the database, you reduce it. It's called forming a cube. So instead of having, say, 1 billion rows, you have 100,000 rows containing the results of some analysis. For example, how much is in somebody's bank account? How much was there yesterday? How much are they spending last week, last month, last year? You have these certain questions which allow you then to reduce the totality of the data to a few measures or numbers. Now, these measures will have to have some sort of description. For example, who is that person who has saved all of that money? And those descriptions are called dimensions. So that is what a data warehouse does. And as I said, this used to be called Azure SQL Data Warehouse. However, they're developing it quite a lot from here. So you can see what they say. It's a limitless analytics service and brings together data warehousing and big data analytics. It has limitless scale because it can grab as many resources as it wants, at least within the boundaries that you have set. So it can load the data, which is also called ingesting. It can prepare the data, it can manage the data, and then it can serve the data for things like business intelligence, which includes Power BI, and for machine learning. And we'll have a look a little bit at machine learning later on in this course. So when I say big data, what do I mean by big data? Well, you know that data is measured in bytes. So we've got bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. Well, the next one up, petabyte or petabyte, depending on how you pronounce it. So that's what we mean by big data. Huge multi-hard drive level data. Now, what is Azure Synapse Analytics? Well, it is the data warehouse, which allows you to build this cube with dimensions and measures, but it also now encompasses big data. And you'll see that the general availability features are being dwarfed by what is in preview. For example, Apache Spark integration. That's an analytics engine for big data processing. Machine learning integration. We'll have a look at a little bit of machine learning later on. Power BI integration, so that's a reporting engine. And streaming analytics, so streaming data is data that you're receiving every second or so, say, or every half a second. So Azure Synapse Analytics. It's a data warehouse, but it's also for serving big data. In this video, I'm going to have a look at another big data processing service, and this is HDInsight. So it uses clusters, which are compute nodes connected together with control nodes. So what this means is you're able to put a small piece of work, no, medium-sized piece of work, into each of these compute nodes, and then it all gets fed back to the cluster, the control node, to go back. So this is how you can process massive amounts of data. Now, you can analyze data using lots of different types of cluster. You can use, among others, Apache Spark. So this splits data into smaller parallel tasks. Apache Hive. So this is an SQL dialect for use with a HDInsight cluster, and it runs a massively parallel processing query. Kafka. This is a clustered streaming service for ingesting streaming data. Storm. This is a real-time data processing unit. And R. So R is a statistical programming language. So HDInsight is an easy, cost-effective, enterprise-grade service for open-source analytics. Big data clusters on demand, very scalable, pay for only what to use. It can be used with or instead of Azure Synapse Analytics, and it allows for the extraction, transformation and loading, data warehousing, machine learning and Internet of Things. So for this exam, you won't really be required to know the difference between HDInsight and Azure Synapse Analytics. They are different development tools coming from different sources. So one came from a data warehousing route, another came from a big data processing service. But they can both be used for big data processing. They can both be used for extraction, transformation, loading, which is also called ETL, and data warehousing and machine learning. So this is HDInsight, another big data processing service. In this video, I want to briefly touch on Azure Databricks. So this provides big data modeling, processing, streaming, and machine learning. So it uses Apache Spark environment. You can see it's fairly swift to set up. You can activate this in minutes. It allows for auto-scale and collaboration. It also supports exploration and data visualization. And it can also be used for ingesting, so in other words, getting the data in the first place. It supports R, Python, Scala, Java, and SQL, among others, and integrates with other parts of Microsoft Azure. So Azure Databricks, like HDInsight and Synapse Analytics, it's another big data. This is used for modeling, processing, streaming, and machine learning. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video so far. Coming up, we'll have a quiz to see how much you can remember. Now, if you want to learn more about Microsoft Azure, then please go to our website, idodata.com. You can find more information about our AZ900 Microsoft Azure Fundamentals course, which includes cloud concepts, core services, solutions and migration, management and security features, and ID, identity, and governance features. And also have a look at our DP900 Microsoft Azure Data Fundamentals, which looks at databases, both relational, semi-structured, and non-relational, together with additional topics. And these courses and many more are available on our website, idodata.com. So let's have a look at the quiz for this video. So the first question, which of the following is ideal for processing big data? Is it Azure Synapse Analytics, Blob Storage, Azure DevOps, or a VPN gateway? And the correct answer is Azure Synapse Analytics. You can also use HDInsight. And next question, which of these is not specifically designed to process, for example, prepare and manage big data? So what is not designed? Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure SQL Database, HDInsight, or Azure Databricks? And the correct answer is Azure SQL Database. It can hold big data, but is not specifically designed to process it.